In today's video, the importance of tires and your Subaru vehicle. Tires are important on all vehicles, not just Subarus. They're your only connection point to the road. You always want to make sure your tires are safe, properly inflated, and have good tread. But what else do you need to be concerned about? What else do you need to look for with your tires? Today we're going to talk about Subaru's all-wheel drive system and why it's more quirky and particular when it comes to your tires, and why taking a close look and care for your tires is more important on your Subaru vehicle. We're going to start the video off with a demonstration of a tire rotation on my 2013 Crosstrek. Alright guys, so right now we're going to go ahead and do a tire rotation on my 2013 Crosstrek. Subaru recommends the tires be rotated every 12,500 kilometers or 7,500 miles. So with synthetic engine oil going 5,000–6,000 mile changes, you might as well go ahead and rotate your tires when you change your oil, just for the longest tire life and most even wear. So we're going to go ahead and jack the car up front and rear, put it on jack stands. We'll take all four wheels and tires off, and we will do the rotation. If you have non-directional tires, we're going to take the front wheel and tire and put it on the back on each side. Just take them off and go straight back. Your rear wheel and tire will cross up to the front. Now, if you have directional tires, all you can do is move the front to the rear on the left and right side respectively, just switching to the side, because you can't cross them, because then your tires will be rotating in the wrong direction. So let's go ahead and get the car jacked up. Our jacking point on the rear is underneath the center of the rear differential. On the front, we are under the front cross member. And luckily I have the luxury of living in the rust-free South, so I can put the jack stands under the pinch welds. If you live up north and have rust, you might want to put them more inboard or under something more solid. And again, here on the front, we're jacking under the center of the front cross member. Make sure you're on the cross member. Do not jack under your engine oil pan or you'll have a bad time. So when working on a vehicle that's up on jack stands, before you start work, you want to make sure that it's stable, as you don't want this car falling on you. So give it a good shake and make sure it's not going anywhere. Now that we know the vehicle is stable and safe to work on, we'll go ahead and remove all four wheels and tires. All right, so now we can go ahead and move our tires. As I said before, we're gonna roll both of our fronts straight back to the rear. And then we'll take our rears and crisscross them to the front. So getting in the habit of rotating your tires and rotating them regularly is a good thing, as it gives you time to look over your tires in depth, take a look at them, see if there's any issues that could cause trouble down the road, see if you've got any wear issues going on, and just get an overall check of the state and health of your tires. You want to go all the way around the tire, checking for flatness across the tire, checking for any uneven wear. You're good to take your ungloved hand and rub it across there, see if you feel any scalloping or any feathering, see if you feel any hard edges side to side. If anything is catching your hand, that can be indicative of some wear issues, some issues with your suspension, your alignment, etc. Also, you just want to rotate the full tire around, get a good look at everything, make sure there's no nails, no screws, no foreign objects in here. Just a good time to check that. Check for any dry rot cracks, any splits in the tire, any bubbles on the sidewalls, and any deformation. And it's also a good time to check the actual tread depth on your tire with a tread depth gauge. Now you can get these pretty cheaply at most auto part stores or online. And this is the simplest way to measure the wear, the life of your tire. You just take the little pointer here, stick it down in the groove, and then push the base flat with the top of the tread, and that'll give you a reading in either metric or in inches. This tire is at about 7/32 of wear, or about 6 millimeters, which means it's about middle of its life, more so to the lower end, but about middle of its life. So this tire is good. Now you want to make sure that you measure the tread depth on all 4 of your tires. Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive system works because of symmetry. You don't want to get asymmetrical anywhere in the system. So when you have a Subaru and you have an issue with one tire, say you get a nail in it or blow a tire out, you have to replace all 4 tires. You can't replace just one tire. If anyone's told you otherwise, they've told you wrong. So if you have a newer set of tires, this may be a year or 2 old, got a good amount of tread left on them, instead of having to replace all 4, some places like Tire Rack offer a tire shaving service. So at that point, you'd buy an exact same tire as the other 3 on the vehicle, same brand and size, and then they can shave down the tread to match your other 3 tires. I know it might sound weird to pay to have a new tire shaved down or worn down, but it's a much cheaper option than getting 4 new tires, especially if they're lightly worn. On the Subaru all-wheel drive system, all 4 tires need to be within 2 to 3/32 of each other, front to back, side to side. When you get a new set of tires on the front and an old set on the back, the rotation speed of the front and the rear is different and can cause issues or damage with the all-wheel drive system and the center differential. So keep that in mind. If someone has told you that, oh, you got a nail in your Subaru tire, you need all 4 tires, they're not trying to scam you out of a set of tires. They're telling you truthful information. One downside to owning a Subaru is the tires, and if you have a situation with just one tire. But luckily, places like Tire Rack now offer the service to shave down new tires to match, so it's not as big of an issue as it was in the past. Now, if you don't have a tire tread depth gauge or don't want to buy one, you can check the wear on your tires with common currency, US currency, with a penny or a quarter. And I'll put some pictures up on the screen now showing where the coin will read on the tread and what the measurement equates to. So one great thing about doing your own tire rotations and getting in the habit of doing them regularly is that it gives you the opportunity to take a look at your braking components, your suspension components, and your steering components and inspect them for any kind of wear, damage, or issues that could arise in the future. You can check the wear of your brake pads. You can look for any leaks from your strut. You can check for cracking or tears in your suspension bushings. You can check for looseness in the ball joints or the tie rod ends. And you can check for any kind of wear or tears in the boots on your CV axles. So another great reason why it's good to get in the habit of rotating your tires. So now that we've checked the tread, checked any kind of wear, and checked our suspension components, we can go ahead and reinstall our wheel and tire. If you don't have a hub buddy, now is the perfect time to get yourself one. I'll have a link in the description of the video. But you see this corrosion here on the face of this brake rotor. If you look at the inside of the wheel, that corrosion corresponds. Aluminum wheel and a steel brake rotor. Just similar metals do not play well with each other. So you want to knock down this corrosion and this rust so you have a nice smooth surface to mount your wheel and tire up to.
Otherwise, it could slightly skew your wheel on the brake rotor and also cause it to rust and make it more difficult to remove your wheel in the future. It goes on your regular impact gun and it makes cleaning up this mating surface a breeze. Just like so. You also use it to clean the inside of the wheel. And just as easy as that. No, I'm not impacting these on, I'm just running the lugs down. This is on power mode 1, which is only like 25 foot-pounds. Now that we've got all the wheels and tires back on and the lugs tightened hand tight, we can go ahead with a torque wrench and torque them to the final spec, which would be 120 Newton meters or 88.5 foot-pounds. All right, now that our wheels and tires are back on and they are torqued, we can go ahead and jack the vehicle back up, get it back off the jack stands and back down on the ground. So now, after going through all the trouble of rotating our tires, checking our tires' condition, checking our braking components, suspension components, the steering components, the last thing we should do is check our tire pressure. One quick and simple way to make sure that our tires are in optimal condition and aren't going to wear and will perform and handle like they should. You got 32 pounds of pressure. Inside the door jamb here we find our tire information sticker. We see our optimal front pressure is 33 psi, so we're a 1 short, and our rear is 32, and our spare should be at 60 psi. Always a good time to go ahead and check the tire pressure on your spare. You don't want to be on the side of the road somewhere needing that spare just to find out it doesn't have air in it. Good thing we checked is our tire has no air in it. And good and aired up now. That'd have been bad I got a flat tire and had a flat spare. We can put all this back together now. So guys, here's an example of what you don't want to see when looking at the tires on your Subaru. This is my 2002 Outback LL Bean. We've seen it umpteen million times over the last 9 years of making repair videos. But this car has some bad wear and these tires are ready to be replaced. So as we see here on the outside, this smoothness here, we're missing tread. We see little bits of line where the tread once was, but it's pretty much smooth here on the outside. Now that can be down to an alignment issue. And the fact that we've got pieces that have torn out here and the feathering on this tire means we definitely have an alignment issue. Also, this car has the original 299,000 mile original equipped Subaru struts on it. It badly needs struts, but I've neglected to put them on the car. It needs a set of tires. These tires are not worth running anymore. They're not really safe. You can see the dry rot cracking all the way around here. These are an old set of tires. A few years back, I needed tires desperately on this car, and I bought a wrecked parts car that had a newer set of tires on it, so I've been running these tires from that wrecked vehicle. They were a little bit dry rotted then, they're really dry rotted now. But another thing you see is here on the inside of this tire, there's wear on the inside and the outside, and that can be due to your tire being underinflated. If you don't keep your tire at the proper pressure, your tire will wear unevenly. If you don't have enough air in the tire, the outer edges of the tire will contact and wear. If your tire is overinflated, the middle of the tire will contact and wear. So I'll put a chart up now with different wear patterns and what they mean. So you can compare your tires to these if you have any issues or any inconsistencies in the wear or the tread pattern. So yeah, these tires still have a decent amount of tread in the middle. I think it was about 6/32. They're not down to the dangerous replacement level, but due to the wear on the outsides of the tire, the pieces that have pulled out and the dry rot, these are way past time to be replaced. So the old LL Bean at 300,000 miles is gonna get a new set of Michelin tires and a new set of Subaru factory struts.
And there you have it, guys. We did a tire rotation on my Crosstrek. Went over the things that you should look for when doing a rotation, things to check on your tires. We talked about the quirks of the all-wheel drive system and how different tires, mismatched tires, can affect that system and harm that system. And we also talked about what to look for when inspecting your tires as far as wear is concerned and what those individual wear patterns could mean for you and your vehicle. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one.